What's going on, fellow humans and resellers? It is I, James, readoptionagency.com, urban-picker.com, and 24 years selling full-time on eBay. So today we're 14 hours into my day, and kind of wanted to give you guys an update going into the weekend. This is Friday. Usually Friday sales start bumping up, but I'm guessing that the problems are still going on with the eBay website, with the checkout, combining orders, such like that. That's been problematic the last few days. Because today my store is taking a bigger hit than ever. And so I just want to see what numbers I did yesterday. And then I can let you know where I'm headed today, because it's not pretty today. And then what I want to do is I want to look back at the month as a whole, and even maybe just this past week, because if you remember, I lowered my percentage on my promoted. I lowered my sales from 20% to 15%. So I want to see how that's affecting my net numbers, right? Because I'm not trying to pay attention to the gross numbers, since I lowered my fees and my my sales, and I want to see if my net sales are going up, even with today and the last couple of days being pretty crappy because of the eBay issues. I just want to keep everything in perspective to myself for this weekend as I continue working and listing, and try not to mentally get sidetracked with the eBay problems. So let's shrink me down. And we are in the clothing store first. So we're going on 4 p.m. So that's 2 hours past my halfway point. And this store, I'm only at $106 right now. And the media store, I'm only at $139. So, yeah, we're not even at $250. So this is indicating like a $500 day, right? With 84,000 items in my store. What gives? So, that looks kind of interesting. These last 444, 434, 444, 426. Those are pretty straight on, even looking numbers, which is normally an indication of a problem. This is what eBay usually looks like. Just kind of a little roller coaster, right? No pattern. Just that's normal eBay right here. This is not normal eBay. If you've been watching my videos, my pooling videos on the Urban Picker channel and my shipping videos on this channel, I talk about some of the the things that I'm noticing, the repeating of the certain items selling out of a certain area. Things like that are kind of indications of when the site's having issues. I always see that as one of the red flags that, okay, there's something wrong with eBay, because I'm not just selling items out of everywhere. It's like just certain locations. So again, what causes that, I have no clue. But today is not looking good. So in order to get over that, I want to look at detailed net numbers for the month and for the week, and see if they're up or down and what have you. So, because if we're down and we're keep going down with the net, then maybe doing the changes I made were not a good thing, right? So, so let's look at yesterday first. So yesterday here, $249, and look how low this has been. This is ridiculous. Like, you have two of the biggest days in the last 60 days surrounded by the lowest days in the last 60 days. So again, more indication, and I know a lot of resellers who do YouTube have seen this kind of pattern, because they talk about it and how it almost feels like you're being, gated or whatever, because you have like your biggest day and then all of a sudden, boom, you have one of your lowest days. So there always seems something a little fishy to that. But so we're going 259 there. Let me see if I had any international website sales yesterday, because those have been a little bit more steady than normal, at least, which is not a common practice when the site has issues. So we have 444 yesterday, 464, so 20 bucks there. So 464, so $713. At least I made it over 700, so I guess that's a positive. We were over 900 the very first of the month. So, and again, is it not just the eBay issues, but is the algorithm realizing that, I am promoting less? So it's definitely given me less views. So if you go into traffic here, impressions have dropped for promoted from the 500,000 impressions, and it looks like we're right around 400,000 impressions. So I lost about 100,000 impressions, lowering my percentage. But the bulk of that's going to be on the low dollar stuff, because that was the biggest drop, from 13% down to 7%. Whereas the higher item stuff and low dollar stuff is more than half of this store. So to only drop 100,000, I don't think that's bad, now that I'm thinking about it. And if I only dropped 13% down to 11% on the higher $6 and over. So we're only 8 days into the change, so I can't really go by these numbers for that. Let's go 7 days. So if you look at 7 days, this has been since I made the change. So everything's down except sale conversion rate. So this could go into the theory that people say, if you're getting higher spikes on slow sell-through rate stuff, that you're going to get a lower conversion. Well, being I took my promoted down, I'm getting less impressions, but yet my sales conversion rate went up. So impressions down 15%, listing views down 10%, quantity sold just about even, click-through rate down 5%, yet the sale conversion rate up 2.3%. So interesting. Interesting it is. Another way that I can kind of tell something's going on is because normally my quantity solds are always updated throughout the day. Like yesterday, had 24 promoted, 12 organic. Day before, 23 promoted, 13 organic. Yet today I'm showing 24 organic and 1 promoted sold. So that's one of two things going on here. Promoted's not working properly today, or this chart's not updating like it should today. So one of the two is going on. I know sometimes they say that, it could take 24 to 48 hours for this chart to update. But normally when the site's working right, it's updated as things sell. So when it's off like this, there's something amiss, something different, something that's going on. So is it the promoted's not working today, or is it just this is not working? I'm going to check something real quick. I'm going to blot you out because I don't want to give away anybody's information. I'm going to go into my sold, into payments. I'm going to see if it's taking out promoted for more than just one item today. Okay, let me get through all my off-site ad things that are coming out today. I'm getting charged for all my off-sites today, so I gotta freaking Good Lord. Get past all that. Okay, so let's see. Say took a fee out there. There's 2. There's 3. So I'm guessing this it's just not updating properly, because I definitely sold more than one item with promoted. All right, so let me shrink you back down. Just don't want to get in trouble and give out information I shouldn't be and have eBay suspend me or something. All right, so we're still up over here in the media store, 6.7. That has dropped. I think we were over 10. And then we're down 3.1. You okay? All right. Okay. He's all right. So, yeah, but then again, like I said, I don't care about that number right now. I want to check. I just feel him vibrating a little bit, so that's why I wanted to make sure he did a stretch and he's vibrating. I want to make sure we're not having an episode. What time is it? 4 o'clock. Yeah, I'll give him some medicine after this video. All right, so first I'm going to do just this week, I guess. We'll do Monday through Thursday, because the first of the month will have the eBay store fees, so I only want to check that in comparison to last month, where Monday through Thursday I can check my percentage cost and see if it's lower than 50, because we were going for lower than 50%. So this week over here, so $965, down 38%, yet my net sales are only down 6.7%. So that's definitely a positive there. That shows my net sales is up, even though my numbers as a whole are down. Because normally those two would kind of mirror each other if I stayed at the same rate as I did last month, per se. I was hoping doing the 20% off down to 15% off would raise total sales, but it's hard to do that when the site's not working properly. When your customers can't check out, you're not going to make money. That's the bottom line. So let me check my percentage. So 43.4%. So we're definitely under the 50%. So what were we over here? I don't even remember exactly. The other one, we were pushing 56% in the media store. What were we pushing over here? 52, 51, 53? I don't even remember now. So we're down within 10% over here, which on a $25,000 month, that's $2,500. Plus, you're going to be saving money in supplies with the quantity sold going down also. So we got 57 sold, but to 49 buyers. So that's all. Both of them are down near right about 20%. So then I'm saving the time of shipping something, right, which is not really that much. And I'm saving a mailer or a box. All right, so this is a good sign. I can't judge this store too much because this one I feel like it's been taking the brunt of the problems on eBay this week. And I think it just kind of goes to show it's just redonkulous what's going on over here. And yeah. All right, so moving on. We're going to do the 7 days over here. So we're going Monday through Thursday. And we'll do it without the international. All right, I like that. So over here, sales down 23.2% from last month, yet my net sales are up 14% compared to last month. So definitely a positive there. That's showing the 10-ish percent. If it's the same over here, I'll have to check and see, but about a 10%, actually it'd be more than 10% difference, right? Because, no, I guess it would be 14. Stop trying to think, James. You're not very good at that. So 143 items sold, down 29%. With 104 buyers, that's only down 21%. All right, so my percentage, 47%. 46.9. So we're down about 10% over here. So we were within 10%, 8% probably on the other store, 10% over here. So able to bring my costs down 10% and take my net sales up 14%. So that's a positive thing. Yet it's saying my selling cost is up 13.4 over here, which could indicate the, well, no. I was going to say it could indicate the postal increase, but most of the items went down over here. Maybe not. I got to look at compare, because it was compared to ground and media, but now everything, most of the stuff's going media mail, which is cheaper than media mail was, but it still could technically be higher than the ground was. So that could be indicating that. So technically, I believe my shipping costs did go up. Instead of sending something at, $4.12 ground or whatever, I'm sending it at $4.47 media, which is cheaper than the $4.63 media, but I wasn't using the $4.63 media as much. So I guess technically my shipping costs did go up. All right, let's look at the whole month, and that will include the store subscription. So the percentage numbers will be a little bit higher here. That's why I wanted to look here first to get a more realistic of the percentage, because this one's going to include the $300, which will thin out as the month goes on. So we're only 1 week into the month, so that $300 is only times 8 or divided by 8, as opposed to it's going to be divided by 31 at the end of the month, if you know what I mean. So I think that's right. Something like that. It takes a less hit day by day, the longer days you have it. All right, so that number will be higher. So total sales for this month over here in the clothing store, down 25%, yet net sales are down 22%. So I mean, they're so close. I'm confusing myself here. So my percentage is going to be higher here. You have 57% because of that 300, but I'm comparing it to last month here. So why are those numbers so pretty spot on with each other? Where I would have thought this would be a smaller number. Let's check the other one. Am I thinking right or am I thinking wrong? So yeah, here's what I expected with the other store. So this store is up 2.1 from last month, yet my net sales are up 22.5 from last month. So that's what I expected on the other store. Why is the other store so dead even? When, oh, That makes sense. Because the other store has 99% of the items. I only lowered by 2%. That's why. This one has a big chunk that was lowered from 13% down to 7%. So that's why this side's greater. That makes sense. Okay. And then the fact that I lowered my price on the other store too, my sale price, let me play some music here so my receiver don't shut off, would indicate why the percentage would be lower. The overall percentage, under 50, right? Because I'm making more per item probably. Did I look at that? Yeah, so yeah, up 8.2% average sale price per item over here, even though we were down. And then here we're up 7.7. Okay. So I took my sale percentage down 5% in each store. So they're both up above the 5%. So that's positive there. Kind of indicates that reduction. So we're 56.8 right now over here. So, and again, up 6.9 from the prior year. So that has to do with the shipping cost, I'm guessing. I wish they would have do they break that down? And I don't know where I guess not. Oh wait, maybe they do. Oh, I guess not. I'd like to see what the percentage cost compared to last month was. Well, I guess I can look. Well, this is only part of the month, so technically I'd have to be more detailed about it. I'm not going to worry about that. All right, well, I think we're going in the right direction. Net sales are up in this store, so I may have to start thinking about the other store just differently than this one. I kind of put them on the same pedestal and do the same things, but you got to treat clothing and hats and shoes different than the way you treat media. So maybe I need to do something different over here. And it kind of stinks because my sales still on my hats still don't show up with the buy two get two, which is, I know, causing, or actually it's not even here. Oh, this is new stuff. That's why. Let me check some older stuff. New stuff is not thrown on sale yet. Let me soonest. So yeah, still no red ribbon out here. So I guess I'm gonna go ahead and turn that off today and turn it back on and see if I can get that red ribbon to pop up. Because ever since I turned on my coupon, the buy two get two over here, it has not showed up out here. So I'm just going to end that now. I didn't want to end it earlier because I had sent out to buyer groups the coupon. So, but that's been about a week, so I think anybody who was going to buy anything would have bought something by now. So we are going to end that. Let me copy my code. I'll just give it the same code. So I've only sold the one, so we're just going to end that and restart it and see if it will start putting that code out there for me. So coupon. Buy two, get two. End date. Hats start now. It's got my almost 19,000 hats clicked and launched. So we'll see if it'll put it out there now. And then I got my buyers groups. I'll go ahead and send them a new one then. So followers, send, more, send. All right. So now they got another new email then. All right. All right. So that's what I wanted to know. So I brought you along for the ride. Even though we're having low days because of the eBay issues, I'm still going in the right direction, at least with the main store, with the big store. And over here for the last 31 days, down 3.1, but yet my net sales are about even. So and over here up 6.7 from last month, yet my nets are up 9.6. So all right, I think I did a good job balancing it out. Like I said, I might have to. It's hard to make a call without the site working properly, so I'm not going to make no more decisions for this month. I'm going to let them ride out. But next month I may, depending on what the percentage ends at, and since I'm running the sale from 20% down to 15%, I may take my promoted back up to 13% in the clothing store, because feels like clothing and stuff like that, there's more competition, and so you have to push the percentage a little higher. But I will check the overall numbers at the end of the month and see how this month plays out first. So, all right. That's where I'm at. That's what's going on. So I'm going back to listing. So thanks, everybody. List easier. If you have not tried it, get your 10 free listings. Please use my affiliate link below. Get in there. Start listing some stuff like crazy. Like I said, if you don't have the stuff, you're at least saving a lot of time. A lot of time. And you cannot get time back. Once time's gone, it's gone. So if you can take a week's worth of work into one day, that's a lot of time you just saved. How much is that time worth to you? You don't have to use the whole 1,000 listings to make that $69 worth $69, because you're getting a lot of time back on the other end. So remember that. Until smaller ones come, remember that. Time is worth that $70. So, all right. Thanks, everybody. I'll see you all in the next video. Later.